Hello guys, what's up? I am GojiFan98's and welcome back for another new video for today. Today I am continuing on for the next episode of GojiFan98's Kong-A-Thon. And today I'm going to take a look at the 11th entrance in the King Kong franchise and the second entrance of MonsterVerse with Kong Skull Island. Which this is my all-time favorite King Kong movie, and this is my second Kong movie in theater. And I love this story in the film. It is just so awesome. So, anyway, Kong Skull Island. What can I say about this one? This is my best and one of the best Kong movie ever made in 2017 movie for the second entrance of MonsterVerse. Back in 2014, in Mountain and Comic-Con, along with Godzilla King of the Monsters announced for Legendary Pictures are going to make another movie to come up. So they also announced they were making another King Kong movie on their own, titled Kong Skull Island. Until 2015, to share the same universe between both 2014 and Kong Skull Island were come together to become a new era of the series called MonsterVerse. And that's where MonsterVerse was born. The movie was directed by the name of Jordan Ford Roberts. He was a big fan of Kong movie from my thoughts and my opinion about it. I like Jordan's his directing role for this movie. He did an amazing job for the film. But I'm going to talk about a lot of history about the original concept idea will be mentioned right here on this book, Kong Unmade: The Laws of Skull Island. We'll talk about the development story for Kong Skull Island. Well, the movie was in a production before they start shooting. Here's what I'm going to say. In the original screenplay of the film, where the plot of the film was meant to takes place during World War I, where it was about set in a treatment based off before the original Kong movie takes place during World War I back in 1931. But this idea never happened, so they decided to focus toward at the end of the Vietnam War instead with a final script. And the music was composed by Harry Jackman, who was best known composing Captain America: The Winter Soldier, if you may recognize. And speaking of Captain America: The First Avengers, The Winter Soldier, the movie had featured a Marvel cast member who reunited for the first time since the Avengers was Tom Hiddleston, who plays James Conrad in the movie, and Samuel L. Jackson portrays Lieutenant Colonel Preston Packen. Both Tom and Samuel reunited since the Avengers. And we also feature an actress who will later appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, who also reunited with Samuel L. Jackson, Brie Larson, who portrays Mason Weaver, an anti-war photographer. So, Kong in the film, he was portrayed by two guys who do the motion capture, was Toby Kendall and Terry Notre. I hope I pronounced these guys' names right. Anyway, when the film started to begin during the World War II in 1944, where two pilots were on the island, one of the American pilots was named with Hank Marlowe, and the Japanese pilot named Gunbei Ikari, who was on the island during the war. And off screen, Ikari actually got killed by one of the skull crawlers, leaving Marlowe was the only one still living until he was encountered with our heroes. And Marlowe was played by John C. Reilly, and like Don Fry, he takes every scene in the film. According to this book, it says here, for the scene with this character, that kind of like the mention about the like Don Fry in Godzilla Final Wars, Reilly steals every scene he in, even while he was supporting character. That was a really cool concept and reminder. I think that John did it great. And a little fun fact, Warner Brothers and Legendary Pictures had decided to go and have a negotiation with for Universal Pictures to acquire a rights for King Kong character to make this movie. Originally, Legendary Pictures wanted a co-production with Universal Pictures to make this project. But after they got the negotiation rights for pay the rights for Kong character, it was actually Warner Brothers and Legendary Pictures actually co-production instead. And before Samuel Jackson, John C. Reilly was joined in. Originally, J.K. Simmons and Michael Keaton were originally supposed to be going on this movie, but they dropped out when they were on the other movie at the same time, so they had to decide to reshot the movie with a new actor. As Michael Keaton was meant to be playing as a World War II veteran who's been on Skull Island for a long time. And J.K. Simmons was playing that ruthless Colonel character. Colonel Packer reminds me of that ruthless Colonel character in King Kong Lives, the way they all share the same way, wanted to kill Kong. And the feature John Goodman plays one of a member of Monarch named Bell Rhonda, he was my favorite character in the film, and John Goodman was my favorite actor. And the movie had featured a new villain that Kong battled with was called Skullcrawlers. And this is another King Kong movie actually where he did not die in the film. Well, the Mighty Kong, where actually after Kong survived his fall when he opened his eye, if you check out the Mighty Kong. But Kong Skull Island, that is totally the best movie ever made in 2017 that year. When I first saw it, I was so pumped up and I'm really excited. I took my mother to see it. It came out on her birthday. So I took her like, you know what? I should take my mom to see this movie because that's her birthday movie. And if you guys stay after the post-credit, they show the cave painting of Godzilla, Rodan, and Mothra King Ghidorah made appearances. And in the end, we can hear Godzilla's roar. And also a little one thing about mention. The movie had paid a tribute to the original King Kong vs. Godzilla, where Kong battled another cephalopod monster, a Meyer squid, which Jordan 4 Roberts had paid homage to King Kong vs. Godzilla. That was a really great homage to the scene in the film. Well, I like the plot of the film takes place on Skull Island, and this is totally different than in the original, where Kong was actually defending navies on the island rather than sacrificing the film this time. Like, sacrificing girls to the Kong. That is really grateful to have that never happen in the Skull Island. It's just different story. For every film adaptation of the best monster character, always have to come up with a different story. And when I first saw Skull Crawlers, I was like, whoa, that monster was creepy. Kong design in the film, it was amazing design. Like Peter Jackson's King Kong design, they add a scar on Kong's chest. In this version of Kong, he was a juvenile as he was the last of his kind, following after his parents were killed by skull crawlers when they were first on the island. Kong was the only last of his kind, and he still kept growing. As a juvenile, like he was teenager. Well, Kong was way powerful, even he was teenager. I like the big one, the Devil Skullcrawler was one of my favorite monster designs in the film. So after Kong Skull Island was released, the movie became a huge successful, and it followed up in a sequel, connected for both of them, Godzilla King of the Monsters and Kong Skull Island with Godzilla vs. Kong, served as the remake of the original King Kong vs. Godzilla, which gave the fans really demanded that they wanted to see a remake of King Kong vs. Godzilla coming to America. But we got our wishes. Thanks to director Adam Wingard attempted to direct it. But before Kong did show up in Godzilla vs. Kong, Kong showed up in another movie where he made a cameo in the 2018 film by Warner Brothers, Ready Player One, only seen in a racetrack scene, where our heroes need to get the first key, which they need to find 3 keys in each different level to take over the Oasis, which that Ready Player One was based on a book of the same name. So, that's all I have to say for Kong Skull Island. If you're a big fan of this movie, I will like to have you guys send a comment below. Tell me what is your favorite memory about it when you first saw it, and how did you like it in the film. So, I gave this movie 10 out of 10, so that's it, everyone. My King Kong-A-Thon is finally over. But the only question is, are we going to have another King Kong movie? The answer is yes. We're going to get another one. We'll be coming out in 2024 where both Kong and Godzilla are going to team up to face against another monster that's going to set for sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong, which is we don't know what's the name of the film yet. The working title of the film is called Origin, with Adam Wingard returning to direct the film, but I can't wait to see that when it comes up. But when it does, that review for the sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong sequel will not be a remake for Kong-A-Thon series of mine. It will be share the same connection together. So it will stay the way it is after my Godzilla-thon series. So stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for watching, you guys. And I'll always stay with you fans and King Kong fans. Bye!